Hi there, my name is Susan Emery, and today we're going to sit down with Steve Marsh, who is the director and playwright of Phases. You will be able to see Phases on Zoom.
Phases started out as a new play development project, we'll call it, and my background is in dramaturgy and new play development. My religion, you might say, is that of an actor. So when the opportunity came up at Suffolk, it actually came up where Jason Kankel, who's our lighting director, and Lachlan Loud, who is our set designer, we got together thinking that maybe there's a project we can do instead of doing a standard play that's already been written, that's already been proven and produced, and then just produce it here, which is a great thing that Suffolk has always done well, that we would do something about this immediate situation that we were all in. We started this, you know, the phase that we're in now of quarantine, of mask wearing, and the basic idea was, let's go out and interview a whole bunch of people and then play those interviews, and it would be really cool. We said, hey, I got an idea for this class that we're going to be doing, which is normally doing a play. I'm going to work with the students, and we're going to work together to take the base that I got of the play and start to develop characters on our own. And the characters are going to be based on the actual actors that we have. We have characters that I didn't think of at first when I started the play, just because I had that person in the class. And they started interacting on their, you know, they wrote it. And when I say they, I got a lot of help. There are several students in the group that actually wrote some great scenes, but it was the characters that ended up writing this play. So the difference of what we normally do here at Suffolk and this is a play that is wholly created by us and shaped, honed, and we're hopefully going to stage it in a way that is going to be great. Here's the question that we posed in the group. I posed it to the students, and I posed it to myself. The question was, how will the events of 2020 affect a small cohort of people, a family, from the Bronx? And I can tell you later how we got to the Bronx and all that. And then we kind of went to the prophecy side of things. And we said, I think 20 years from now, it's a nice number, how will it affect them 20 years from now? The theme we have, there's actually music in this play. It's not a musical, but we start out with a song, I Can See Clearly Now, by Johnny Nash, who happened to die this year of COVID. In that, it's saying I can see how things are going to be. And this family thought, my goodness, they're a biracial couple, and the wife is pregnant, and she has twins. He had a business that was starting up. He was a beekeeper. That's why you see pictures of the bees on everything. And she was a nurse, and these guys were going to be perfect parents. Everything was going to be great. And then suddenly something changes big time, which is what we all experienced. And then when we go 20 years in the future, we now have these 20-year-old kids. We don't see their whole life leading up to that, but we know it. So we're getting the audience to understand what might happen. And in that, they're two very different kids, you know, and one of them, when they were born, had a little problem. And the other seems much more confident in life and in physicality and everything. So the big question posed was, how will the events of 2020 affect young people in the year 2040? Inevitably, it turned out to be, how does it affect where we go in life? You know, and so I think we do a decent job of showing that. And I like showing things in a very small way to this family, who could be any family. It's not a typical family at all. It's just a small group of people in a small place, and I think everyone can relate. I worry about the audience deep inside, But their reaction, I can't be absolutely sure about, especially in the times we live in right now. A contemporary audience today consists of no people in person. So our contemporary audience is some people who are watching on Zoom. The actors don't hear the reactions. We were talking about that last night in rehearsal. So I can't ever be sure about how a contemporary audience will react. However, I was very cognizant as we were writing this and as we were developing the play about what will people think in 2040 when they see this play, or any time in the future. And I'm really hoping that they do, you know, and it might be crazy to think that anything would last, but that's the idea of plays, right? You know, and in the future, I think it gives a decent look at what people are going through, at least emotionally. It's not a history of COVID, it's not a history of politics, and it's not a history of social justice. But in the first act, we really do show a lot about what was happening in the world at this time. We name names a couple of times, but that's about it. I think that what I'm looking forward to is seeing what the future reaction to the play might be. Because I think it's important. I think we're living in one of the most interesting historical times that this country has ever gone through, that the world has gone through at this point because of this pandemic.